Hello students, hope you all are doing good. In today's class, we discuss about the model paper released by the board. So 1 to 20 questions are objective, MCQs are there. So the 21st question, like they were very short answer questions, like how to answer very short answer questions. As they are 2 marks questions, it's important to write 2 points. Valid reasons must be given in 2 points for those questions. So let's discuss the question which is there on the board. The question is dilute hydrochloric acid is added to zinc granules. So we have taken dilute hydrochloric acid that was added to zinc granules. Like how do you prove that a chemical change has taken place? And you have to support your answer with 2 arguments. That's most important because these are very short answers. At least 2 points must be given for 2 marks. So first of all, we'll write the chemical equation for this reaction. So what is the chemical reaction? Here we have taken hydrochloric acid, aqueous, because acids show their properties only when they dissolve in water. So to this dilute hydrochloric acid, we have added zinc granules which are solid. It's important to mention the physical states of the reactants and products. So that gives rise to zinc chloride ZnCl2 plus hydrogen gas is liberated in this reaction. As hydrochloric is aqueous solution, even zinc chloride also will write aqueous only. So this is the chemical reaction. Now in the question they are asking support your answer with 2 arguments. How can you prove that it's a chemical reaction? Like the first argument is here hydrogen gas is liberating. So we able to observe the bubbles from the test tube. So these bubbles indicate that a gas is liberated. Initially there is no gas, but after the reaction has happened, that is after adding zinc granules to hydrochloric acid, hydrogen gas is liberating. So some bubbles we able to observe liberating. Some gas is liberating. So as the gas is liberating, this is an example of a chemical reaction. New substance is formed. A chemical reaction takes place, always a new substance is formed. So bubbles are observed in the test tube. So the second one, what we observed in the reaction is there is change in the color. Initially zinc is silvery gray color. Zinc is silvery gray color. After the reaction it changes to zinc chloride which is black in color. So third one, there will be change in the temperature. Change in temperature. So these 3 are the features of a chemical reaction. Some gas is liberating and we observe there is change in the color of the solution and there is change in temperature. Because of all these 3 reasons, we can say that the reaction between dilute hydrochloric acid and zinc is a chemical reaction. The second question, 22nd question, which is again 2 marks. State the post-fertilization changes that lead to fruit formation in plants. Like after fertilization only fruit will be formed. What are the changes that happen for the fruit has to be formed in case of the plants? So generally what happens? Fertilization takes place. The male gamete and female gamete fuses with each other and results in the formation of a zygote. So after the formation of zygote, whatever changes happen, we call them as post-fertilization changes. As they happens after fertilization, that's why they are known as post-fertilization changes. So after fertilization, zygote is formed. So first point, like what happens is, first the zygote divides continuously to turn into a ball of cells called embryo within the ovule. So first zygote divides and converts into ball of cells. This within the ovule, it will be formed within the ovule, and this ball of cells we call it as embryo. That means after fertilization, the first thing happens is formation of embryo that forms within the ovule. And the second point, like after the formation of embryo, what happens? Ovule gradually develops a tough coat and can converted into it will be converted into a seed. Ovule gradually develops a tough coat and forms a seed. And this is the second thing which happens after fertilization. The third change happens here is ovary grows rapidly and ripen to form a fruit. So the third change happens after fertilization is ovary grows rapidly and ripen into a fruit. The next stage is like what happens after fertilization means they were like we have already learned about the structure of the flower. There were many floral parts are there like petals, sepals, stamen, carpel. In case of a carpel, we are learning about ovule and ovary. Ovule was turning into a seed and ovary develops into a fruit. These two parts are there. But what about the remaining parts? Like in case of a carpel, they are already stigma and style is there. And in case of a stamen, there is filament and anthers are there. So what happens to these parts and what happens to the sepals and petals? All the floral parts will fall off except ovule and ovary after fertilization. Ovule develops into a seed and ovary ripens to form a fruit. So all the remaining floral parts will fall off. So these are the post-fertilization changes that lead to the formation of a fruit in case of the plants. So all the 4 changes you have to mention. Each change will get half mark so that you will get 2 marks. Any one you miss, you don't get the full marks. So the next question, 23rd question, which is a 2 marks question, has a choice here. The first question is, you need not to attempt both the questions. Either this one or this one, which you know you can attempt for 2 marks. What is the purpose of making urine in the human body? And name the organs that stores and releases urine. Our body releases lot of nitrogenous waste like urea and uric acid. They are very harmful. That has to be sent outside. Otherwise, they become poisonous in our body. So that's why the nitrogenous waste products like urea and uric acid has to be sent outside of our body. And the second question here asked is, name the organ that stores urine. Urine was generated in our body, which has to be stored in the body for some time, because every time we cannot go to the washroom, like it has to be stored for some time. In our body, where it is stored, the organ in which urine is stored is urinary bladder. And for this you will get half mark. And releases urine, which organ will releases urine means that is urethra. Through the urethra, urine will be sent outside from our body. So what is the purpose of making urine means? The nitrogenous waste products like urea and uric acid has to be sent outside because they are poisonous. That's why they have to be sent outside. They will be sent outside through urine only. That's why our body will make urine. So the nitrogenous waste products like urea and uric acid has to be sent outside of the human body because they are very poisonous substances. So that's why our body generates urine. For that, if you write that, you will get 1 mark. And the organ that stores urine and the organ which releases urine, if you write, you will get another 1 mark. Now, if you are not aware of that question, then you go for the next question, that is, why do arteries have thick and elastic walls whereas veins have valves? See, these structures, valves we cannot see in arteries, and veins do not have the thick and elastic walls. So what is the reason? See, arteries means they, like, from the heart blood enters into the arteries only. Under high pressure, blood from the heart is entering into the arteries. So they have to bear that pressure. That's why the walls of the arteries are thick and elastic. And whereas the veins have walls, because veins always carry deoxygenated blood. So deoxygenated blood should not go back into the organs again. It has to go for heart, and from there it has to go into the lungs for oxygenation. So one way flow should be there for deoxygenated blood from the body parts to the heart, and from the heart to the lungs for oxygenation. In order to prevent the backward flow, because pressure increases, blood tries to move backwards. In order to prevent the backward flow of the blood, valves are present in the veins. So this point, if you write like, arteries have thick and elastic walls because the blood will enter from the heart under high pressure. To bear that pressure, the walls of the arteries are very thick and elastic. That one point if you write, you will get 1 mark. And second one, why does veins have valves, means to prevent the backward flow of the blood, because veins always carry deoxygenated blood.